We'll chant Shanti Path. Sahana vavadu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Humble prostrations to the Guru Parampara, starting from Sadashiva or Lakshmi Kanta, both are same. Some people say Lakshmi Nada Samaramba, Nataya Manamadmeda, Asmat Acharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam. Anyway, it starts from the Lord down to the various masters who have trained us. I offer my humble prostrations and humble prostrations to all of you, because we will have this adventure of thinking. We'll start it's not thinking is the wrong word. We'll start contemplating together as we go through this. One of the most exciting texts I have ever come across, the works of Shankaracharya. This is called Manisha Panchakam. Panchakam, series of 5 verses, 5 shlokas. Manisha means my firm faith and conviction. Shankaracharya says, these are my words of firm faith and conviction. What does he say? We will go through it slowly. We will first, I hope all of you have this together, and if some people do not have, I have some more. I hope all of you have this, otherwise some more are available. First we'll read and follow, and then we'll take it. Satyacharyasya gamane, please take it in chorus. Kadachin muktidayakam Kashi kshetram prati sahagauryo margetu shankaram antya veshadaram društva gaccha iti abbravet shankaraha sopi chandaraha tam punaha praha shankaram annamayat eva annamayat adava chaitanyameva chaitanyat dvijavara duri kartum vanchasi kim bruhi gaccha gaccheti kingang vamuni bimbate varamanau chandaravadi payaham pure chantaramasti kanchana gati mrut kumbhayorvambare pratyagvastuni nistaranga samajam nandavabodambudau viproyam swapachoyamityapi mahan koyam vibheda brahmaham jagrat swapna sushiptito spudataram yasam vidujvambate ya brahmadi pipira tanushu prota jagat sakshini नैवाहं न तदुष्यवस्थिति दृढप्रज्ञापि यस्तास्ति चेत् चाण्डालोऽस्तु न तु द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम ब्रह्मैवाहमिदं जगच्च सकलम् चिन्मात्रविस्तारितम् सर्वं चैतन्यविद्यया त्रिगुणया शेषं मया कल्पितम् इत्थं यस्य दृढामतिः सुखतरे नित्ये परे निर्मले चाण्डालोऽस्तु न तु द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम शश्वन्नश्वरमेव विश्वमखिलम् निश्चित्य वाचा गुरोः नित्यम् ब्रह्म निरन्तरम् विमृशताम् निर्वाजशान्तात्मना भूतम् भावि च दुष्कृतम् प्रदहताम् संविन्मया पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितम् स्वपरुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम यातिर्यङ्नरदेवताभिः अहमित्यन्त स्फुटा गृह्यते यद्वासा हृदयाक्षदेहविषया भान्ति स्वतो चेतनाः ताम् भास्मैः पीतार्कमण्डलनिभाम् स्फूर्तिम् सदा भावयन् योगी निवृतमानसो हि गुरुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम यत्सौख्याम्बुदिलेशलेशत इमे शक्रादयो निवृताः यच्चित्ते नितराम् प्रशान्तकलने लब्धा मुनिर्निवृतः यस्मिन्नित्यसुखाम्बुदौ गरितदीः ब्रह्मैव न ब्रह्मवित् यः कश्चित् स सुरेन्द्रवन्दितपदो नूनम् मनीषा मम. This has got these. Last 5 are the Panchakams given by Shankaracharya. And the first 3 is an introduction. The second and third that we saw is the question put by a Chandala. There is a situation, actually we must go to the little background that any religion anywhere in the world, always there is some danger because of meaningless ritualism, practices are bad, and people start running away. Tremendous, too much amount of ritualism, meaningless ritualism, that makes people go away from religion. Mechanical, too much. And that was happening in the 7th century also. And Hinduism, perhaps, had it not for Shankara, there would have been a tremendous danger to the entire Hinduism. I think we must all revere him, respect him, prostrate to him, that Hinduism is still alive. One of the major causes for the survival of the Hinduism, one person who made it meaningful, who gave religion the true meaning, and almost stopped decaying or people running away from the religion was Adi Shankara. He is the avatar of Shankara himself. There is an instance, this has happened to in all the, I think right now also similar thing is happening. Now what is happening now in the name of religion, people are sometimes getting disgusted. What is happening sometimes now even in some temples, and mechanical, huge, high, costly rituals. Many times it looks meaningful, and actually the temples, the mutts, they have got a role to play to mold the people so that they contribute to the world, to the nation, to the society at large. But this is what happened. There was a similar situation that happened here, and that's where Adi Shankara revived it. There is the first verse shows a background on which this Manisha Panchakam came. It says, Sati Acharyasya Gamane Kadachin Muktidayakam Kashi Kshetram Prati Saha Gaurya Margetu Shankaram Antyaveshadaram Društva Gaccha Iti Abravit Shankaraha Sopi Chandalaha Tam Punaha Praha Shankaram. Shankaracharya, along with his disciples, had taken fresh bath in the highly sacred Ganges, Ganga, in Kashi. Kashi Kshetra is known to be unparalleled in the entire India. If you have to name one place, Kashi. And in that river Ganges is highly sacred. It is not for purification of the body only. She is ever pure. Because nowadays you are seeing people say Ganga Purification Project. We don't need to purify her. She is ever pure. What we need to do is, we must start polluting. We don't need to purify her. River Ganges has got a very sacred place in our entire culture of the great country, Kashi, Ganges. And that is called Muktidayakam Kashi Kshetraha. And there, Shankaracharya was coming along with his disciples. Fresh bath. And he was walking where? Towards the temple. Another sacred place, which is a place where a symbol of consciousness. We must understand it like that. See, it is not a mechanical dip in Ganges. It is not any other place of Kashi. It is not one temple of Kashi Vishwanatha. After purifying the body and the mind, you see, they are all very subtle significances. He was moving towards that consciousness, not there here, it is everywhere. And then, what happened was, there was a Chandala. Chandala, those days there were people used to call them, he is of the low caste, this and all that. One Chandala, he was on the path. Now, when he came on the path, these Shishyas, they said, hey, Acharya is coming, move away. But the misery is, Acharya Shankara was such a divine soul, a person, a realized soul. He had that great depth. He is the Lord himself. He was in that state, but they say, maybe because of the customs prevailing at that time, temporarily that great soul temporarily identified with the body. Please understand. And he also joined the Shishyas and says, what? He says, Gaccha iti abravit. He said, hey, move away. This is, this was a situation then, in this country, that people of this caste, nobody should touch them and all that. This is not only in India. We have seen Gandhiji when he was in South Africa, racial discrimination. Even now in the world there are so many places, people say, no, you are so inferior, you can't get into this train, you can't have this, you can't have this. So, this untouchability was prevailing quite a long time. People of this caste, no, you should not touch. In fact, you have seen some places, people used to have two different wells also. This temple for this, and if the other people of the other caste touch, they would not allow them to do it. It's a crime of the highest order. You can scold somebody. If you say, you are so horrible that you don't deserve to be touched by me, the agony that we create is many times more than the physical violence. Shankaracharya knew, but at that moment, he says, temporarily he slipped, identified with the body and said, go away, go away, go away. There are two schools of thoughts. One school of thought says that Lord Shiva himself was appearing as Chandala and along with 4 dogs indicating the 4 Vedas. But the other major school of thought which says is that that person was a Chandala with high knowledge. So I think we will now understand it as that he was a true Chandala. Let us continue with that understanding, though there are 2 schools of thought. And this person, when he said this, that Chandala asks a question that is in the next verse. Shall we read it together? Annamayat annamayat adava chaitanyameva chaitanyat dvijavara duri kattum vanchasi kim bruhi gaccha gaccha iti. Shall we read it together? Annamayat annamayat adava chaitanyameva chaitanyat dvijavara duri kartum vanchasi kim bruhi gaccha gaccheti. The question itself is highly educative to all of us. That this Chandala was not was a person of the highest order. You see, sometimes, art of asking question is a great art. I think even in the schools and colleges also, people ask questions. You would have seen, you have passed through the colleges. And sometimes, especially in co-education institutions, people ask questions to impress the person of the opposite sex. They will ask a question. See, how did I ask? The other type of questioning that you would have seen in this world in the colleges is that the student says, hey, my lecturer, my professor does not know. I will expose him. The second. One is to show off. People ask questions. You would have seen in most of the meetings everywhere, whether it is in the parliament of this great country or small general body meetings or even in spiritual gatherings also, people ask questions. Number one, to show off. Not that they want to show off, hey, I know this. To show off to others. Second, this speaker doesn't know. I will expose him. But the third questioning, a kind of question is that people is here. He really wants to know a person who, and he has that hunger, mumukshutva for knowledge. And this Chandala is a person of that higher order. He asks this question. You will see the question he says, sir, you are asking me to go, gaccha, gaccha. He asks, kim bruhi, why? Because he is asking, annamayat, annamaya, atava, chaitanyameva, chaitanyat. Okay, you are asking me to go away. Are you asking the annamaya? Annamaya is this body is made out of mud. We have the Panchakoshas, no? Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. The grossest aspect of this body, the matter, the gross body, consists, this is because this is born out of the food that the father and the mother eat. The whole, conceiving concept onwards, Chinmayanda says, from that moment also, the sperm and all those is because of the food that the father and the mother eat. The birth of this physical body is because of the food. It is growing in the food that we eat. So this outermost sheath, the outermost of the Panchakoshat, the Annamaya, is called the food sheath. That is this grass body. This Chandala is asking a question. Sir, are you asking, do you mean this matter to move away from the matter? This body. When you say go away, do you mean this body should go away from the matter? Or the second one, Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat. Or do you want this spirit in me to go from the spirit? Or by, he says, Dvijavara, he says, you see, he uses using the word Dvijavara. We'll discuss what are those four classifications. Is what is called as the Shudra, then what is called as the Dvija, and then what is called as the Vipra, and then the Brahmana. The fourfold classification is made. He says the best among the Dvijas, he is addressing Shankara, Dvijavara. You are asking this. He says, Duri kartum vanchasi what? Are you asking this matter to go from the matter or spirit from the spirit? Kim bruhi gacha gacha iti. Number one, he says, by saying move away, are you meaning the matter to go from the matter or from the spirit to go from the spirit? Now, here's the word. Matter cannot go on its own. I don't think this clock can go away. I may say go away. This clock cannot go away. This water bottle, it cannot go away. Matter cannot go. That's number one. Number two, in the depth of matter, if you analyze the matter, there is no difference. This is made out of the Panchakosha, the outermost kosha, Annamaya, is made out of the Panchabhutas, Bhumihi, Apaha, Anaraha, Kam, Vayu. The five basic elements, this matter is made of Annamaya kosha, is made out of the five. And this body, my body, are made out of the same matter, and this cannot move. And second one, in case you mean the spirit to move away, there is only one spirit. Where can a spirit go? Because there is no place to go, because there is no place where it is not. So this is a very, very interesting question. He says, matter cannot go and the spirit can go. What are you meaning? Do you want the matter to go from matter or spirit to go from the spirit? Now here he says we have to understand there are lots of lessons that we have to learn even from this Manisha Panchakam, even for our day-to-day use. Number one, lesson that perhaps all of us will take, and I know these enlightened souls which are here, we don't need to tell you, but you are all, but I am trying to remind ourselves that the essence of this, there are a number of lessons. Number one lesson, we have to get rid of the Jati Abhimana Tyagaha. Number one. It is one which is bothering. What has to really unite people, this spirit. But in the name of the caste, in the name of the religion, there is lot of fight, violence that is going on. So, nothing wrong in you practicing any particular religion or some methods that is prescribed in your religion. But number one, don't differentiate person to person based on the religion. So, now you don't need to have this. Shankaracharya in the 7th century itself, he had said all this. And then there is what is called as one more important thing that is brought about here is number one, there is a real difference in our world. One which is, let's say, the difference in the blood group, etc. That is there. That is called Vyavaharika Satya. But this casteism has got no thing, but it is only an imagination. After all, what is caste? There is no caste. It is all created by us, imagination by us. So let us get rid of the illusory imagination of the caste, number one. And then I was talking of the fourfold classifications. It is called the Shudraha, Dvijaha, Vipraha, Brahmanaha. It is said in our scriptures, Janmana Jayate Shudraha, Karmana Jayate Dvijaha, Veda Adhyayi Bhavet Vipraha, Brahma Janadi Brahmana. I know Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtya Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Nobody is born in as a Brahman or Dvija or Vipra. This fourfold classification, again, they will accuse Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna himself in Gita has said, Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtya. It is this casteism is created by Krishna. No. But they miss the other word. That Chaturvarnyam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Here it says, all of us are born as Shudras. Janmana Jayate Shudraha. Who is a Shudra? Shokaha iti Shoka. Whoever weeps and goes on crying is a Shudra. If we continuously be weeping, then we have to consider ourselves as Shudra. And next, Karmana Jayate Dvijaha. That means after taking birth, by performance of the right action. This matches with what is said in the Gita. Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. There, in fact, the second he says, Karmana Jayate Dvijaha. Jaha, birth. First birth, all of us are born as Shudras. But the second birth, the Dvija, the second birth is when we start thinking higher. The right actions we start doing. Good actions, noble actions, helping nature, serving the society, serving the mankind, serving the universe, serving the world. Those who do that kind of works, they are called the Dvijaha. And the next step we have to evolve. This is called Veda Adhyayi Bhavet Vipraha. Vedas, there are two. One who has got clarity of a goal, and one who starts working for the goal is called a Vipraha. Here, goal, I think in our previous talks we have discussed, there are two. One is what is called as the goals in life and the goal of life. Goals in life, in the materialistic plane, we call it as success, yashas. I have to succeed. But the ultimate purpose for which we are all born is to attain that. That is called the goal of life. Let us be clear. The goal in life is the little bit of success that we are working for. The goal of life is that for which we are all born, our Swadharma. I am born, I am that, I have to reach that stage. That is called the goal of life. That person who, and again, the goals in life should be in line with and not contradictory to goal of life. If all my success in this world doesn't give me bliss, the materialist success also should not be different from or against the goal of life, the blissful state. Actually, we need both. We can have the goals in life and the goal of life. Goal of life is to attain that. And Dvija is one who not only has that goal in life, but the goal of life. And not only he knows, he is a mumukshu, he starts working towards that goal. Understand? Setting the goal is not adequate. Mumukshu is, we must have that burning desire to attain that goal. The third Vipraha. And then the next ultimate stage is, if we are sincere as Vipraha, then we reach the other state Brahma Janati Brahmana. Brahmana is not just my father was in that Brahmin caste. No. I can be born in the so-called the lowest, so-called, I am using the word so-called. It is not right to tell anybody out in caste. It is wrong. After all, this caste is only our imagination. All the greatest, real, genuine spiritual masters, they have in clear terms condemned the casteism. So, now Brahma Janadi Brahmana. One who has realized Jnani, he is called the Brahma. He says, you are saying this, Dvijavara. What do you mean by this? And he also says, if it had come from normal people, we would have left. And one master whom we heard, he said, there are Jnanis and Ajnanis. Whatever the Jnani says, he says, write it on stone. Ajnanis, if they talk, whatever they say, you write it on water. It will go away. But he is asking him this question, how to differentiate. And the second one, the number one message here is that we shall get rid of these Jati Abhimana. We'll understand what true religion is. And then, and how was he, and again, one more. We will see, I am going through before we really go into the depth texture, what are the lessons that we get from Shankaracharya? Because he is calling him, in the last, every word he says, Ityesha Manisha Guruhu, you will see in the last words, in every line, Guruhu Ityesha Manisha Mama. He is referring to the, whoever it is, whether it is a Chandalaha or Dvijaha, he is a Guru, Ityesha Manisha Mama. It is my firm faith, my firm conviction that he is a Guru, even if he is a Chanda. It does not matter whether he is born in the lowest caste or in the highest caste. That person who has these qualities, he says, he actually prostrates to the Chandara. Means what? We have one more lesson to learn. That great soul Shankaracharya, he had that Jnana Nishta. And when another lesson that we have to learn is, whenever people tell us something about our weaknesses, normally we don't accept. No, this is the problem with the so-called highly learned people also. In fact, more the learned, more the problem. I do not accept that I have. In fact, even attitude also is a problem. There is the biggest attitudinal problem. The people start training on attitudinal development. Those people say, people will think, what is wrong with my attitude? That itself is the biggest attitude. Number one problem is non-accepting. If somebody points out some mistakes, we don't accept it, non-acceptance. And next, we start justifying the weaknesses, whatever weakness are. And then the third one is, he says, I don't have this at all. So Shankara has demonstrated that we must get rid of these three. And then one more lesson that we have to take here is, it is what is called as the highest source, that anybody can temporarily slip. Anybody can temporarily slip. Of course, Shankaracharya is not that kind to slip, but that moment, there was a temporary fall. But, see this. Let's say that you have got a stone. You throw it down. What happens? It goes. That is all. It doesn't come up. Suppose you throw a rubber ball, zing, it's come. Our life should be like that. It is nothing wrong that once in a way we fall, but let us not be like a rock which will remain when it falls. Sometimes there could be a slip in our life. When we slip, let us be like a bouncing ball and come up. That is another message that Shankara has that. And then one more is that Shankara has demonstrated here in the entire Manisha Panchakam in the 5 verses, Samadrushti. There is also called the Advaita Drushti. Then there is nothing, there is only one. And This is also called the Karana Drushti. Normally we have Karya Drushti. We always look at the effects and see the difference. Karya Drushti, when we see the effects in the world, there is a multiplicity and names and forms is different. Karana Drushti is when we start going inside to find out the cause of all the causes, there is no difference. So we have to get into that. That is the message that we have. And now we will go through one more question of the Chandala. Shall we chant it together? Okay, we'll start. Kingam Gangambuni Bimbatem Paramanau Chandalavadi Paya Dure Chantaramaschikanchanagati Mrutyon Bhavam Pambare Pratyagvastuni Nistaranga Sahaja Nandava Bodham Viproyam Shapachoyamityapi Mahan Koyam Vidheba Brahmaha. He says, three examples that all of us in this circle are familiar with. Just it is given. Kim Ganga Ambuni Bimbite Ambaramani. Ambaramani here means the sun. Ambaramani. And he has gone three reflections. Ganga Ambuni, the river, the water of the sacred Ganges. Ganga Ambuni. And then the other example is given, Chandala Vadi Payaha. You know, in the slums, in the place where so-called lower people live, the whole area is dirty. The, let us say, the drainage water, you know, you'll see, even in the so-called city also, in right through our cities, this is going on. You know, the dirty water, the sewerage water of this Chandala Vati Payaha, there are this. The dirty water which is coming out here from the sewerage waters, the dirty water, the ditch in the Vaisade drain, there is the water, and the pure sacred water of the Ganges, pure water. And there, Bimbite Ambaramani. The sun, Ambaramani, Ambaramani, the sun getting reflected. The reflections can be different, whether it is getting reflected in the pure Ganges water, or whether it is getting reflected in the dirty sewerage water. Is anything happening to the sun? Sun is ever pure. Reflections could be different, but that sun, Ambaramani, is same. What a beautiful question. This is a question of Chandala. And he says, Purecha Antaram Asti. Is there any Antaram Asti? Is there any difference? Asked the Chandala. And then one more, you will see the second line. Kanchana Gati Mrutkumbha Yoho Ambare. Ambare here is space. Kanchanagati. Kanchanagati is the golden part. Mrutkumbha is the mud part. We have now here a golden part. And then the mud part. Mrutkumbha mud part. And Kanchana Gati. In that the space is there. He says, he asks the question, sir, you are saying gacha gacha. Is there any difference between the space in the golden part and in the mud part? The external cover is different. But inside space, is there any difference? Ask him. And then he says, similarly, he said, Pratyak Vastuni Nistaranga Sahajanandava Bodham Budau. Pratyak Vastu, the consciousness in the Supreme Self, Nistaranga. When there are no more thought ripples, devoid of the ripples, Ananda Avabodha Ambudo. Ambudo is ocean. Ananda Avabodha Ambudo. He says, in the ocean of the self-existing blissful consciousness, there is no more thought. Is there any difference? He says, in there, when you look at from that angle, from the level of the consciousness, outside, like this can be different. The reflection could be different. Water can be different, either pure or dirty. Or the container could be different. But here, in the level of the pure consciousness, from that standpoint of view, when there are no more ripples of the mind, when I realize that consciousness, in that level of consciousness, he says, Vipraha ayam, Swapachaha ayam. I am separating the words. Viproyam, Vipraha ayam. Shwapachaha ayam ityapi mahan koyam vibheda brahmaha. This is Brahman. This is Chandala. Vipraha ayam. Shwapacha. Shwapacha, one who cooks and eats dog. There is a dog, people eat meat, but Swapacha, those who eat dogs, why people get furious when they mix this mutton with dog meat. They say, dog. But this person who eats, cooks and eats the dog, and in the Vipra that we saw there, he says, from the level of this body can be different. From that level of consciousness, he says, how can there be this Vibheda Brahma, delusory distinction? Like the question we see it again, the sun is there, it is getting reflected in the pure waters of the Ganges or in the dirty water. That doesn't get that doesn't change. It does not get affected. That is the same. Reflections could be different, but the sun is same. There is no difference between the space in the golden pot or the mud pot. And that way, that from the level of consciousness, there cannot be any difference. And how did you get this difference that this is a Vipra, this is a Chandala, Shwapajaha? You are asking me, go away, go away. You are saying it is because Chandala. Where is this difference between Vipraha and Chandala? Where is outcast? I think this is one of the greatest things. And this is what awakens Shankara. And now he gives Manisha Panchakam. We will see the first verse. We will see it together. I think this is so clear that all of you are familiar with. Let us read together verse number 1. That is the first of the series of the Panchakam, the 5 verses given by Shankara after getting this question. Jagrat Swapna Sushipti. Let us read together. Jagrat Swapna Sushipti Suspudhatara Ya Samvidujrumbate Ya Brahmadi Pipila Kantatanushu Prota Jagat Sakshini Saivaham Nacha Dushyavastiti Druda Prajnapi Yastachitet Chandarostu Nasu Jujostu Guruhu Ityesha Manisha Mamam. We'll see the last line and come back. He says, Iti Esha Manisha Mamam. This you will see in the last line of all the verses. This Mama Manisha, my firm faith and firm conviction. Not simply I heard here and there. I have not only heard, I have realized it. No, just hearing something we will not develop faith. Only when we experiment it, when I owned it, it becomes my faith and conviction. My firm faith and conviction is so and so is a guru, whether he is Chandala hastu, Dvija hastu, whether he is a Chandala or a Dvija, He says, I prostrate. Because who is that Guru who has these qualities? They are the three verses on the top. He says, Jagrat Swapna Sushiptisu Sputatara Yasamvid Vujrumbate. Jagrat, waking, Swapna, the dream state, and the Sushupti, the deep state. That consciousness which illumines waking, dream, and deep sleep. That consciousness is same. Right now, I hope majority of us are awake. Isn't it? I hope we are awake. And when we go and sleep, we get into another state. Some of us dream and then sleep. These are the three changing states: waking, dream, and deep sleep. But in and through the three stages, there is one changeless state which is illumining, that consciousness which is illumining the waking, the dream, and the deep sleep state. That changeless state which is is called Avasthatraya Sakshihi. Sakshihi, witness, to Avastha 3, Traya, Avastha Traya. That state, which is the witness to the three states, is that Avastha Traya Sakshihi. And we have heard this, King Janaka was known to be a great master. He's called a Raja, taken away, and then he was not given proper food, and he had to beg in the same tone where he was, he had a lot of hunger, but in that place they were not giving him food. He was thirsty, he was rolling in pain, hunger. At that moment he got this leprosy, the deadly disease, suffering in pain, and everybody was keeping away. That man who was being adored, and what is happening to him? Nobody is touching him, he is not getting water, hunger, this, pain, he is suffering, tears are rolling. This passed on for a few months. And then he opened his eyes, he found nothing had wrong. He was in the palace only. All these months and happening had happened in few minutes of dream. But when he was in dream was real to him. And he got a doubt. Next day he had, in the Raj Darbar, he had called people, and there was this great character called Ashtavakra. Ashtavakra is one of the most attractive personalities in the entire Indian mythology. He had 8 vakras, here like this, land, legs, people were making fun of him as he entered. Because he asked a question, what are you laughing at? Are you looking at the body vakras? I thought you are all enlightened souls. But Janaka prostrates to him, offers respect, and he says, Sir, I have a question. What? Yesterday this happened. The king, it happened. Actually in about 10, 15 or half an hour, he had spent years and years. The time scale is different. He says, what is true? Is King Janaka true and he dreamt like a beggar? Or the beggar Janaka is true, now dreaming like a king? Which is true? King is true? This Ashtavakra, he says, both are false. As long as you are awake, for you, the waking body, the waking world, the waking relatives is real, perfectly real. When you are dreaming, when you are awake, your identification is with your this hardware, the gross body. When I am in dream, my identification is with my mind and intellect, manas and buddhi, the antakarana. That creates a new world, maybe a new wife, fortunately or unfortunately, and new children, new position, new bada 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 bada. But as long as I am in dream, the dream world is real. I suffer all the enjoyments or the suffering of the dream world. As long as I am dreaming, dream world is real to me. When you go into deep sleep, fortunately, you will not get suffering even from your own wife or husband or children. No party problem, no problem. For us, we are in a state called, our identification is with my causal body, the Karana Sharira, because of the pressure of vasanas. It is a temporary bliss, but it is not permanent. Waking state, my identification with the gross body. In the dream state, Manas and Buddhi, the subtle body. In the deep sleep state, causal body, the Karana Sharira. But all these, when I wake up from the dream world is gone. That is similarly, when I wake up from this state of waking to that state of consciousness, like the way, oh God, this is also a dream. Like that, all the sufferings of the enjoyment is gone. Then what is my true state? But I know I have been experiencing the waking world through the body, the dream world through my subtle body, and conscious, due to pressure of vasanas, identification with the causal body, the deep sleep state. But what is that which is caused? For example, when I wake up from a dream, we say, I had slipped. But there must have been something which is the witness, and that, he says, is that consciousness. Ya samvid vijrumbate. And then that means this consciousness which does not change in all the three states of the waking, dream and the deep world. Ya, and is it applicable only to my body? No. He says, next line you say, Ya Brahma Adi Pipilaka Anta Tonushu. The Brahma, the creator's body, Pipilaka is an ant. Irve. Not only it is true for my body, but this which is common to all, the consciousness which is common in all the three states, and which is right from the creator to the small thing, the common thing with all the bodies. Don't say Pipilaka only ant. It should include all. Brahma, from the highest to the lowest, Pipilaka, Tanu is body. Pipilaka Anta, Adi Anta, Brahma Adi, Pipilaka Anta, Tanushu, which is very same, and all these, that consciousness is same, not only the consciousness in my body, in all the bodies in the body, mind interact, not only in the body, in the world of objects, emotions and thoughts, the entire world of objects, emotions and thoughts, and the body, mind and intellect of me and everybody. And he says, it is also, he says, Jagat Sakshini. There is one life spark which is the sole witness to the entire play of the universe. The entire universe, Jagat Sakshini. That consciousness which is the sole witness to all, he says, most important is this word. This has got Manisha Panchakam. He gives an elaborate description of all the Vedas, I said. Vedas are known to be, Vedas are there. Out of that Vedanta, you have got the Vedanta, the various Upanishads are the Jews of the Vedas. We have the four, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. And of all the Vedas, the essence of all Vedas, all of us are aware, is covered or described in four Vakyas called Mahavakyas. One in the Rig Veda, in the Aitareya Upanishad, we have the Prajnanam Brahma, that is, that consciousness is Brahman. In the Yajurveda, in the Brihadaranyaka, Aham Brahma Asmi, I am the Brahman. In the Samaveda, in the Chandogya Upanishad, it says, Tat Tvam Asi, Tat Tvam Asi. This is the Upadesha of the Guru. You are that. That is the Upadesha Vakya. Lord says, the Guru says, You are that. And then in the Atharvana Veda, in the Mandokya Upanishad, I am Atma Brahma. The consciousness in me, the self, is the Brahman. These are the Mahavakyas. You will see in each of the Panchakams, one major is thing. In this, he says, Saha eva sa aham. That consciousness is me. This is an explanation of that the consciousness in the first word, Jagrat Swapna Sushiptisu, Brahmadi Pipila Kanta Tanushuhu, and then Jagat Sakshini. That means what is said here is Prajnanam Brahma of the Aitareya Upanishad in the Rig Veda is elaborated in this mantra, Saha eva aham. That consciousness is me. Na cha drushya vastu iti. Means, drushya vastu we seeing. We are all seeing. Drushya means not only through the eye, through the ear, through the nose, through the tongue, through the skin. Whatever the experiences that I get from the outer world of objects, emotions and thoughts, all those drushya vastu iti, now I am not that, including the body. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the mind, I am that supreme consciousness. Iti druda prajnapi yasya asti chet. Whoever is firmly established, has got firm conviction that I am that the consciousness is Brahman. You can see that. Whoever has that state, whoever it is, whether he is a Chandalaha or a Dvija, he is that enlightened soul. He prostrates, he says. Now, what does Shankaracharya wants us to do with this mantra? He says, you practice this. The message for all of us is that we should see this. This is not a message to that Chandala only. It is an immortal message contained in the Rig Veda, the Aitareya Upanishad, Prajnanam Brahma, the consciousness is Brahman. This is elaborated. We have got to see. Number one, the consciousness which does not change, that in the three stages of changes, the waking dream and the deep sleep, that changeless state, that consciousness, and then what that consciousness which is there in all, not only in me, but in everything. That consciousness is Brahman. And then that one which is the sole witness, that consciousness is the witness to all. And I am not that. Whoever has got that realization, Shankara says, he is my Guru, whether he is a Chandalaha or Dvijaha. So maybe, in fact, if we practice this, there is no differentiation between the caste, creed and religion. What is, after all, between the man, the animals and the things? After all, we are basically made out of the Panchabhutas, which is same. The whole universe is Panchabhutas. This is also Panchabhutas. You know, this body is made out of 5 basic elements. Suppose I die. Let me not die now. I will not die. Suppose I die. This portion, mineral portion, goes to the earth. And the water, bhumihi, apaha, the water goes to the, and there is the element of fire in me, and there is vayu in me, and I have occupied space. That space goes to space, vayu goes to vayu, and fire portion goes there, and this goes back to this. This structure, which is made out of the Panchabhutas, goes back to Panchabhutas. All this world is Panchabhutas. You see the entire universe, you see the whole world, whether it is our earth or anywhere, there also it is made out of the, or see our earth, bhumihi, there is water, apaha, anaraha, fire, vayu, and come. Bhumi, apaha, anaraha, vayu, come. The whole Brahmanda is made out of the Panchabhutas. And this Pindanda, why even an ant, small one, small ant, that is made out of the same basic elements. In fact, in the structure, What a miracle, what a wonder that's made. And he says, where is the difference in the bhutas? And as far as the consciousness is concerned, they are all inert. If this has to function, that is functioning under the influence of the consciousness, and that consciousness is one everywhere. There is no difference either in the grass level or in that level. Why difference? After all, when we look into people, look into things, we have to only see what? Wherever I look around, I have to only see consciousness, Brahman. This is meditation is not a part-time job or weekly once or 1.5 hours per week. No, it is a whole-time job. Whole-time job, all the way we must be in that state, that whatever I see around, everything is Brahman only. Consciousness is Brahman. This is elaborated in verse 1. We will take the other two. I am thinking that we will be able to take it in 3 discourses. Please bring these sheets when you come to the next class also, and go on chanting daily. At least these first 4 which we have discussed, try to start recapitulating what all we have discussed, and let us start living this Vedanta. Vedanta is not to be talked. Vedanta is not to be heard. Vedanta is to be experienced, not few minutes a day, puja, everywhere. Let's conclude. Thank you very much for the fine opportunity. Hari Om. I'll give you this portion. Thanks for having taken it. Is one of the just 5 verses, fantastic. It has got the essence of all Vedas, let us say. Because essence of Vedas is in Upanishad. Essence of Upanishad is in Mahavakyas. And all the Mahavakyas come in one or the other Panchakam. What else we want? That means by going through this Manisha Panchakam, we would have gone through the entire Mahavakyas. By going through Mahavakyas, we have gone through all Upanishads. That means we have gone through all Vedas. What else? Great. In 3 sessions of 1.5 hours each, we have studied all Vedanta. But question is, knowing is not doing. Doing is doing. We may know, we may understand, we must experience it. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.